Hello, good morning. It's Kylie here from Hello Crafter. It is, what are we on? Day 8 of our 12 days of Craftmas. And so I am coming to you live every day for 12 days, so until Friday. And I've got 5 more projects to show you. So today's one, I've just switched, I've had to switch it around at the last minute. So the one that I was going to do tomorrow, I'm now doing today because I can't find my stamp set that I was going to use today. Yeah, it's, I think I've mentioned it a few times. My room is getting to be a little bit of a problem and it's got to be here somewhere. I keep thinking, like, did I lend it out to someone? Because I do sometimes lend out my my bundles to people, but I definitely had it last week. So yeah, I'm not sure. I don't remember lending it to anyone. So it's got to be in here somewhere. But anyway, it's fine because all I've done is just switch them around. And if I hadn't have mentioned it, you'd have never noticed. Hello, Julie. 7 a.m. Gosh, yeah. Well, which part of the States are you watching from? I've seen mixed reports on weather over there, so it varies, doesn't it? Yeah, but it's nice and sunny today. We've got a bit of blue sky. I don't think it'll last, so I'm making the most of the actual sunlight. I think I've been struggling with the lack of sunlight last few weeks. It's just been really some kind of dull moments. Ohio, brilliant. But hello, welcome. I hope you enjoy a bit of crafting this morning. I'm only going to be on for 20 minutes or so. We'll see how we get on. Just got a really lovely simple origami style project today. So no stamping, but I know some people struggle with origami with the folds and everything, but I don't think this is too bad. I think this is a nice simple one. And also I think some people, especially me, find it quite therapeutic to do the folding. I think it's like one of those things that I think you can find it very mindful, and especially if you do a few at the same time. So we're going to start with the papers. So I've chosen these elegant pine papers. I think they're coming back into stock this week, fingers crossed. But if you want me to keep an eye on the stock for you, please just message me or comment, and I can let you know when it comes back in. I'll just keep a close eye on it, but it is due back in this week. So but it's the perfect papers for this particular project because it's got the kind of greenery already printed on the design, so it works really well. I've just realized I've left the actual project in the room. Oh gosh. Let me just go and run and get it. I'll really will be quick. So if you want to just chat amongst yourselves just for a second. This is basically how I get my exercise in, is just running from one room to another. So this is the project. It's a little folded Christmas tree. It is flat on the back, so you can actually add it to a card. So you could have it on a card like that. Or what I've done is just folded the bottom up so that it stands. So you can have it, or it does actually stand if you're careful. Stands up, so you could have it as a decoration on your mantelpiece or on the dinner table. You could have like a little label with people's names on it, so they could be like the place settings on each person's plate. You could do different sizes and have a whole forest of them, and yeah, they are really fun. So like, you can see now why I've chosen these papers for this project. Perfect. So you could have either side really, but I do like all the foliage on this. So you're going to start by cutting. You need 3 squares. Yeah, but if you can, yeah, you could stick 2 together. Yeah, so they'd be a little bit more full. Yeah, that would work. I wonder if you could just do it with the base so that it would have a little bit more to, well, anyway, it's worth experimenting, definitely. 3 squares. So the first square is 15 centimetres by 15 centimetres. And then the second square is 12 by 12. I think they're basically, they go down in 3 centimetre increments. So you could actually start with a much larger one and work down. Again, you'd probably have to experiment with the gaps in sizes, but so that's 15 by 15, 12 by 12 and 9 by 9. And I mean, the smaller you go, the more fiddlier it is to fiddlier. I don't know if that's a word, but you know what I mean. It gets more fiddly the smaller your square, so you don't want to go too small. But also the other thing with origami style projects that we do, as we know, Stampin' Up paper is really good quality and it's quite thick, and origami is traditionally done on much thinner paper. So actually some of the folds can be tricky with origami. So there's certain origami projects that I've seen online that I have tried with Stampin' Up paper, and it just doesn't work because the paper's too thick to be able to make the folds. And you just get into a bit of a mess with it. But this one is all right, I promise. So it's always good to have a bone folder for making your folds really nice and crisp. So clearly lost that there. Let's get your bone folder. Right, so I'm gonna show you, you're doing the same thing on all 3 pieces. So I'll start with the bigger piece so it's easy for you to see. Hi Steph, how are you feeling today? I think we had a friend's night in, girls' night in on Saturday, and yes, we got very festive and merry, didn't we? And I think I was feeling all right yesterday, but I think I've got like a second day hangover. and a bad hip from silly games, but anyway, that's another story. So yeah, starting, so whatever pattern you want, start with it face down, so it's wrong side up, if that makes sense. First of all, oh, well done, Steph. Two-tone, I think that's thicker. I think the two-tone paper's thicker than this, or if it's not, it's a similar thickness. Let me just grab a bit. Oops. No, the two-tone is actually thicker than the paper, so it would work. For this is not too bad, so it might work with the two-tone. You might have to try it. So the first fold we're going to do is we're going to fold it in half, not on a diagonal, just on, to make a rectangle. Fold it in half. Okay, easy. And then open it back up, and then you're going to take the bottom edge and line it up with that centre fold line. The other tricky thing with these papers that isn't the case with origami papers are usually one-sided, as in colour one side, white the other. So it's easier to see your folds. With the pattern paper, sometimes it's really tricky to see your fold lines. So you have to have some really good lighting, and even just like get a pencil and ruler out maybe to make a mark if you need to. So that's the second fold. So the first fold was in half, opened out, and the second fold is the bottom edge lining up with the center fold, and then open out. And then I just spin it round. So now I'm going to take my bottom edge, not to the center fold, to that top fold that we just created. So line that up with that top fold. So now you've got like this I guess it's like a quarter, no, third or something. Anyway, it's like that. Okay, and now we're going to fold that in half the other way. So we're going to fold it so one side meets the other side, and we're going to get this centre fold crease. When we open it up, now we've got this crease in the centre that you can just about see there. And that's what we're now using to line up the next fold. So hopefully everyone's got that. You will probably want to, when I finish this video, go back and do it on half speed or stop it and pause it after each step. That will be the best way to follow along. If you're unable to kind of do it live, that's fine. Right, the next one, this is probably the trickiest fold. But you're going to open up, so I'm just holding down one side, you're going to open up this and push that bottom fold so that this centre fold line here that's been pushed outwards lines up with this centre fold there. And you're making it flat. You're making it a flat triangle with this fold line lining up with this underneath fold line in the centre. And you get this little square corner happening there as well. It's all flat now. This edge should be parallel with this edge. I think one of mine was, my small one went a little bit wonky, but it turned out okay anyway. So fold line, all lining up. And then once you've done that, you take this and match the edges over. So you're just sort of folding that back over to the other side like that. So it's gone from that side to that side. And then you're going to do the same thing on this side now. So you're going to put your finger inside, push open this triangle, and if you get your finger inside to the point, you can make sure that's flattening down properly. This fold is going to line up with this fold. This centre fold is going to line up with that centre fold again. Just get it as accurate as you can, and then use your bone folder to press everything all out. And then again, lift that top little flap, push it back to the other side, and everything all lines up nice like that. Okay, now, so you've got these two and the bottom two triangles. The first top one you're going to fold so that this bottom edge meets this centre line again. So you're going to fold it up. It's like a like you would do a sort of a paper aeroplane, like the kite shape. So it's gone from there into the centre, and same on the other side. You're just meeting the centre. Give it a good press each time. So you've got this shape. And now you're going to take this edge, fold it in to meet this edge. So you're just getting a nice shape going. You're folding that inwards. And then same on the other side. Fold it in. So this is where it all gets a little bit stiff because the paper's so thick, but do your best. It's not so bad on this big one, it just gets harder as you go smaller. So that's in, and that's what you get. When you turn it round, that will end up being the base of your tree. And just press, give everything another press there. And then, so I'm going to show you, I'm going to do the same thing, but a little bit faster on these ones. so that, like I say, you can go back and re-watch. So folding it in half, taking the edge and folding it up to the centre, spinning it round and taking the other end up to that top score line. And then before I don't want to open it up again, so with it still folded, fold it in half. Horizontally, and then you've got your score line in the centre. That's where you're opening that out, pushing that down flat, and then taking this centre and moving it over to that side. And then same on this side, open that out, push that triangle flat. The centre score line lines up with the centre score line. And then it's like you're opening a book page, moving it over to the other side. Okay, now take that book page, fold the outer edge up to the centre line, same on the other side, and then that edge folds in, and that edge folds in. Okay, and last one, the trickiest one, the smallest one. It's really hard to see the lines on this pattern, but just try and line it up as straight as you can. So once you've done one or two, it's pretty easy. There we go. It's what I mean, you could do this with wrapping paper. That would work if you had like spare bits of wrapping paper, or just like dig out your old lesser quality papers. Does have a use. Like that. Right, so they're done. So now I need to glue them together. So take your smallest one and pop just a little bit of glue just on that flat bit there, just there, and then slide the middle one in. And I just slide it in. It will go further in, but I like to slide it in so that you see these little points. They kind of get to where they touch the lower one down. So I'll just show you on this one where it'll slide much further in, but you don't want it too far out. You want it so that these points here are kind of touching the sides of the next one in, if that makes sense. That's how I like it. So that's stuck in. I'll just do so a little bit of glue on the flat bit, slide the next one in, just slide it in so that you get to a level that you like. And that's it basically. So that is, you want to kind of leave it flat. If you're going to do a card, you want to leave it flat. So I've got this, I've just made this from a sheet of A4. So I've cut it to 14.8 wide, my A4, and then I've scored it at 14.8 so that it's a square one. I've got a little square 13 by 13 and I've embossed it, same colour. That's with the birchwood embossing folder. And then you can just like simply add that to the front of your card. I think that just looks really classy. And then you can add a sentiment. I've got this piece of the Country Woods paper, which actually just looks like bark. And that's just a little rectangle of that you can add as a trunk. And then you could just add one of your sentiments from the pack, something like that. The card kit that comes with this, with the 12 days of Christmas offer, so any order placed that's £45 or more, you can choose either to have the project kits to make all 12 projects, or a free gift of your choice. And but I am going to include some cardstock in there in case you did want to turn it into a card, and some of this as well. But if you don't want to make it into a card, you want to make it as a 3D, what you do is just make sure you don't fold these pieces for now. You just want to fold this bit back by about a centimetre, like that. So this is the reverse, and then just carefully fold these pieces back as well, because they will help it stand up. And then unfold it a bit so that it's sort of more like a 45-degree angle, 90-degree angle, like that, like a stand. And then these points also help it to stand, like that. And then also you can just sort of carefully, don't bend them, but just like, don't fold them, but kind of curl the ends up a little, and it just helps with the kind of 3D-ness. You could put a little gold star on the top of those, that would look cool. But you could have like a whole forest of these. If I have time this week, I'll just add it to my list of 100 things that I want to do this week. Is to make a lovely little collection of these in slightly different sizes as well. Yeah, Jean, you're gonna have to dig your paper out now. Yeah, hopefully you like that project. Like I say, goes really well on a nice special card, because it kind of it'll be a bit thick, but it'll squish down to go in an envelope if you've got one the right size. Like that. And we'll have to see what it looks like back to back. That actually looks quite good. That would make if you just sort of wedged some twine or something in there, that would make quite a nice little hanging decoration too. Yeah, there you go. So yes, I'm gonna make a little winter wonderland with all these trees going up. I'm going to try it with vellum as well. I'm not sure if it would quite work, but I'm going to have a go. Yeah, yes, I'll just add it to the list. It'll be fine. We can do it all. I'm going to be back tomorrow. I'm going to have a little dig around for that stamp set. Otherwise, I don't know what I'll do. Maybe I'll do Wednesday's project tomorrow if I can't find my stamp set. So message me if you've got any questions about this or about the offer. Don't forget, if you tuned in last night, I mentioned this. It's my bingo, online crafts and bingo night next Sunday, and I'm doing the kits, starting them today, but I'm posting them out on Wednesday. So I don't have as many spares as I thought I would, but I've got at least 4 that I can make up, extra ones if you want to book on that. It would be so lovely and fun to see you on Sunday for the Crafts and Bingo night if you want to join in that. Some good prizes as well. And yeah, I will see you tomorrow. Bye now. Thanks for watching.